Friday at 5 p.m. Central Time. Today, I will be bringing to you, I have with me today a special guest, and we will be discussing different issues today. Before I call on my guest, we're going to be talking about the crisis of affordable housing here in the northwest suburbs. That has become a real concerning issue. And then we're going to be talking about the election. As you all know, it's 2018. It is non-presidential year, but we have our governor race coming up and a lot of local races that are very important. And we're going to be talking about the importance of casting your vote, especially on non-presidential election year. So let's talk about affordable housing. So affordable housing has become a huge crisis all over America, not just the northwest suburbs. But because the Daniel Show focused just on the northwest suburbs, we're going to focus on the northwest suburbs and the Brooklyns for today. Affordable housing has become an issue. As you all know, if you rent, your rent goes up every year. I don't know about how much, but paycheck don't go up every year. That has become a huge issue, even for young professionals, even for people who have a full-time job. Whenever we talk about affordable housing, I know a lot of people are thinking about just those that are on government assistance, but no. The definition of affordable housing means if you are using 30% of your income on housing, then it's affordable. But if you're using more than that, then it's not affordable. Are you using more than 30% of your income on housing or rent? If you are, then your house is not affordable. So this has become a real issue. And I think based on the fact that this is election year and the two city mayors of Brooklyn Park and Brooklyn Center are up for re-election and a few other city council seats, I think this is an issue that people need to start discussing with their elected officials. And hopefully we're going to have some organizations here who specializes in affordable housing telling us about this crisis and what is needed to get this done with. Because seriously, this is a serious issue. If you walk down the street in Brooklyn Park, Brooklyn Center, you see a lot of homeless people. It is not by coincidence. So this is an issue that we're going to have to discuss. And pretty soon we're going to have options for people to call in and tell us their personal stories. So if you have issues with affordable housing, please feel free to call in and I will let you all know when we are about to discuss this pressing issue in our communities. And you can call in and share your story with us about how this housing crisis is affecting you. Also, the governor race, like I said, this is 2018, it's non-presidential year, meaning we don't have a presidential election. Usually when we don't have a presidential election, a lot of people don't show up to vote. However, the local elections are very important. You cannot go to the White House and demand to see the president right now and you want to tell him about your issues and local issues, but you can go to your local city hall and you can talk to your mayor and your city council members. So that also is important. And the mayoral race is important. If immigration is important to you, if housing, even if you don't like politics, a lot of people say they don't like politics, but if immigration is important to you, if housing is important to you, how much you make is important to you, or if the roads you drive on are important to you, the schools your kids go to are important to you, please, please, please try and pay attention to your school board election, your local representative election, the governor race, city council, mayor, pay attention to that. They play a very crucial role in our everyday life. So this time, I know the Osceola School Board have few candidates that are up. The Brooklyn Center School Board have few candidates that are up. And I'll do my best to bring all these candidates right here on the Daniel Show and we can discuss further. And you will have the option to call to talk to them one-on-one. Today, I have with me two guests. First person is Pastor Cephas. He is the president of JCCA, which is the Joint Christian Choir Association, a Native choir association. He's going to be here with me today on the show talking about his organization and an upcoming convention that is coming up and the work that they are doing within our community. Also, after we take a short break after him, I have with me Winfred Russell. Winfred Russell is a Liberian-born who lives in Brooklyn Park, and he is running for city council in the West District of Brooklyn Park. So he's going to be with us today, and we're going to be addressing some issues, and he will let us know why he decided to run. Now, this is the Daniel Show. We bring you facts, but we also bring you the juicy gossip around politics and everything there is. First on, I would like to invite Pastor Cephas to talk about JCCA with us. Hello, Pastor Cephas.
Thank you very much for
Thanks for
inviting
coming.
me.
Thanks
Thank
for
you
coming.
for this wonderful show. We heard about it, and we know that it's going to change our community.
That's great.
So I really want to thank you for hosting this show, and we're here to be a part of it. I'm very happy to be a part of it.
Thank you. So, Pastor Cephas, just for the audience's sake, can you please introduce yourself?
Yes, my name is Mogado Cephas. I'm a pastor at the Garden of Gethsemane Ministries, but we have JCCA is an organization, it's a Liberian organization that originates from Liberia. That have 8 branches in the States.
Wow.
And by God's grace, I happen to be the national president for that organization. And best of all, the organization will be coming to the Twin Cities, hosting its convention over here.
Good. So, what is the organization about?
JCC is we are a traditional singing group. Or
Okay.
groups, we have already established some groups around some states.
Okay.
We have, we basically do traditional songs,
Okay.
and we do our normal praise and worship is a real time
home,
where,
right?
oh, you will not believe it.
Okay.
We have our choir directress is one of the best in the traditional business.
Okay.
And she does really direct the choir in a very, very emotional way you would never believe when you come to see
Well,
our
that's
convention.
good. I can't
Yeah,
wait.
it's great.
So, my question is, Liberia have different tribes.
Yes.
So, does this group focus on all tribes?
Yes, we
we
focus on all tribes.
You sing songs in different dialects.
Yes, but specifically for now, when the group started, it started with the Bassa ethnic group, but we've extended to some other ethnic groups.
Okay.
But predominantly, we do songs in Bassa. Yes.
Okay, that's good. That's good. So you just recently talked about upcoming convention.
Yes.
What is this convention about?
The convention, we have the organization has an annual convention that takes place most often the last weekend in June every year. And this is a time where we bring the entire organization together to celebrate the goodness of God. God took care of us. He been there for us. He been there for the organization too. So we come together to discuss the future and everything surrounding the organization. So this is what we'll be doing this coming June.
Good. So backstage, we had a quick conversation, and I know that besides the beautiful music that you guys sing, you guys also do different work within the community, and you're hoping to do other work in the community. Can you shine a little light on
Yes, at present we are working on establishing a home care
Oh.
for our seniors.
When you say our seniors, are you talking about specifically Africans or Liberians?
Yeah, Africans, and but we have a lot of Liberians
Yes.
that are part of the organization. We thought that we should be able to serve our own people.
Yes.
So these are the target groups that we have, Africans and Liberians to be specific.
Okay.
So we in the process of starting, we almost there. We just need some support, from the public, because it involves getting the licenses to operate, requires money and staff. So we know some people in our community that are willing to help us. We are not for profit organization.
Okay.
So we just go on doing our own things, collecting money among ourselves. And sometimes we can't get there with all help from other people, from donors.
Right.
So this is what we're asking the public to assist in every way possible, so we can get this home care started for our own people.
That's good. So I believe now this convention is going to be used to, this is the opportunity for people to donate, correct?
Yes.
If they want to donate. I will be at that convention, and I tell you, I'll have my checkbook ready. Because this is a good cause. We do need a center, senior center for our seniors here in this community, somewhere they can feel comfortable, So that's a really good cause. Also, I saw you guys heavily participating during the DED rally.
Yes, we support other important causes in the community
Right.
because you help me do my thing and I will help you do your thing.
Yeah.
So we have been supporting every other community-based cause.
Okay.
Anything that the Liberians or our African people are putting their hands in,
Right.
we make sure we go there to donate or be a part of the whatever process is required to get it going. So it is our time, so we're really asking the African community and the Liberian community to come to our rescue. We will be raising $50,000 that will go towards the projects. We got a few projects, but the most pressing one now is to make sure that we have the home care established. We will be, that will be catering to our people. You would not believe it, you know, my mom is a senior. But her biggest fear is to be taken to one of the other group homes that she would not be able to see anybody speaking her vernacular. She don't speak English.
Right.
So
Right.
we want to, you know, establish this home care that will really be catering to our people and bring our own people who speak their dialects to be able to contribute, to care for them.
Yeah, and who is knowledgeable about their
Right.
culture as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You
Okay,
know.
that's a very good cause. Can you please let us know when is this convention, the date?
Yeah, the convention is starting on the 20th. Arrival of delegates will be on the 27th of June, and it will last until the 1st of July. So on the first day, the delegates will be arriving, and the convention will actually be taking place at 7200 Brooklyn Boulevard.
Okay.
Yeah, 7200 Brooklyn Boulevard, Brooklyn Park.
Okay, in Brooklyn Park.
It's in Brooklyn Park.
And it's a 3 days convention, you said?
It's starting on Wednesday. Wednesday will be the arrival.
Okay.
The convention will be open on Thursday morning, which will be the 28th,
Okay.
from the 28th to the 1st of
So the
July.
first.
Yes.
And then I was also told that you guys, during your convention, you're going to be doing some award ceremony or recognition ceremony. Who are you guys recognizing and why?
We have some very important personalities in the community that have contributed. Some people that African businesses are opening businesses. Some of the people have really contributed to the society. So these are the candidates that we will be honoring. And also we have people from the 8 branches that have been standing with the organization. They've been on every convention, been contributing. So it's our way of just telling them thank you for all the efforts and all they've been doing to promote JCCA in the United States.
That is wonderful. So I don't mean to let the cat out of the bag, but there's one thing my mom used to say: if you wash your hands clean, you get invited to eat with kings and queens. I am actually one of the recipients of this great award. I am so excited.
Yes.
And I will be in the house live, and I really encourage people to come. As you can see, as much as they're promoting our tradition, they're also promoting young folks and folks that are doing work within the community. And of course, I'm going to be on there, and I'm going to be receiving an award from you guys, and I will cherish that forever.
Yeah.
And, I just want to say thank you for all the work that you guys
Yes,
do.
JCCA is actually, JCCA means John Christian Choir Association, as she said from the beginning.
Yeah.
And we've been around for 20 some years now in the United States. We have 8 branches. It's this para-church organization that really bring pastors and workers, church workers together during our convention. There will be a lot of teaching on how to live and how God can shape our lives. And this organization does all of that during our convention. Workshop, we bring in politicians to talk to the African people. Those that are running for office also have an opportunity because a huge amount of people, African people, can come together during our convention. So we inviting the entire community, people who are Christians and know that it is good to always contribute to the things of God.
Yeah.
We want to encourage them to come and be part of this
That's
great convention.
wonderful. And this event is free.
It's free,
It's
free.
free, so everyone is invited.
Yes.
And I know you guys are going to be having a silent auction.
Yes.
So I will come with some cash ready to win some of those great prizes.
Yes, absolutely.
great.
I know that. We will also be having a barbecue for the community on Saturday. Saturday will be the end of, it will be the 30th of June. We'll be having a big barbecue for the public.
And that's free too.
Free too.
Free
You
food.
can just
Can't
walk
beat
in
that.
there and just have
You
fun.
can't beat
Yeah.
that. That's wonderful.
Yes.
I know for sure I'll be there. For sure.
Yes.
So again, he said this starts on the 31st, correct? Or the 28th?
On the 27th.
Oh, the
27th is the arrival
Okay.
of delegates, and then we start the formally open the convention on the 28th.
So when is the barbecue?
The barbecue is on the 30th, which is our Saturday.
Saturday. Okay,
Saturday.
what time?
We will start like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 2 to
And where?
6. It would be where we will be having the convention is at the corner of Brooklyn Boulevard and Noble.
Right.
There's a Methodist church at that very junction, and on the opposite side of the church is a big yard. It's a parking place.
Okay.
That place is where the barbecue will be.
Pardon me. If you guys notice, I asked about the barbecue first. Okay. And then the award show is actually going to be
On Sunday, the
on
next
Sunday.
yeah,
So
Sunday.
that's going to be like what time?
Oh, that's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We will be having a service, and during the service, we'll be honoring the people in our community that
Right,
contributed to
Right.
JCCA well-being.
So
On Saturday night, we have our banquet, where it's this time we have a party and
okay.
really
That's
celebrate.
where-
Yes,
Is that where we're going to be having the silent auction, or the silent
yes.
auction
The silent auction going
is
to
going
be
to be at night?
yes
So the award is going to be at 2 p.m. during the service.
during the service.
And then at 8 p.m., you guys are going to have like a banquet.
Yes.
So we
Now,
have-
I don't want. Saturday night
Saturday night.
is
yeah.
when we will have our banquet.
Okay, but
Okay,
then
but Sunday
morning,
we will be having the
after-
honoring for those that in the community.
Okay.
We will be honoring
Pardon me,
during the
okay.
program.
Okay.
But Saturday night will be our type of honoring our members, and celebrating. People wear their coats.
Yeah.
We'll
So
just
Saturday at 2.
yeah. Saturday is at 8 o'clock in the evening.
Saturday at 8 o'clock.
Yes,
is the
but the
award.
service is 2 o'clock the next day, which is a Sunday night, and that Sunday service is
Is
what
when you'll be doing the
Right.
honoring. Okay, so Saturday is the banquet.
banquet.
Wait, okay, so at the banquet, is there food?
Food all over the place. Yes,
So this is the thing, you guys are feeding us twice. That's
Yeah.
wonderful. It's free.
free.
Okay, I'll be there. I'll be
Yeah.
there, and I'll try to get a lot of my hungry friends to be there as well.
Yeah,
And we will be there with our checkbooks to try and donate to this wonderful cause.
that would be
because that is
very
something
great.
that
We will really appreciate. And if you intend to donate, we have an account number.
Okay.
During the convention.
Okay.
If you can really give cash and you want to put something in our deposit in our account,
You'll get that.
we will give that out to our guests.
That's wonderful. Well,
Yeah.
thank you so much, Pastor Sifa, for
Yes.
actually joining me on the Daniel Show today.
Yeah.
And I look forward to seeing you on that day.
Yes.
And I think I will pull up my African dress to be there as well.
Yeah, Minnesota, you're welcome.
Yes.
Come, let's celebrate Jesus. It's going to be a great time. There will be a lot of preachers coming to town. We have some politicians, some cultural advocates
Yeah.
will be teaching during the time of this convention,
Okay.
because we have workshops. This is a great time together. We just want to invite the whole community. Please be a part. We all will be celebrating Jesus.
Definitely. So we'll be there for sure.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for your time, and you have a wonderful day.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
So that was Pastor Cephas, and as you guys heard, this is something that we need. We have an older growing population here in our community, especially the Liberian African community, that needs care. But also with that care, it got to be culture specific, right? So having a center that actually care for them at the same time, someone who actually know and understand the culture in a way that they can provide the best care for them while they have fun.
Yes.
That is very, very crucial. So I really urge you all to participate. Plus, your girl, Miss Daniels, is going to be awarded at that show. You
Yes.
don't want to miss it. Well, I will take a very quick break, like 5 minutes break, and I will be back. And up next, we're going to have Winfred Russell with us. See you in 5 minutes.
Liberia is going through transformation. The entire RARE Plus itself is a new phenomenon around the world. Of course, it's calling for no more business as usual. And so what we do in Liberia is we are trying to bring together different land users. There is a computing interest as it relates to the usage of land. RARE Plus is the best platform that we have at this moment, or what I will refer to as a space that we have at this moment as we discuss land use changes. So RARE Plus itself has become a catalyst as to how we use land in Liberia, and eventually as we move to developing a land use map for Liberia, RARE Plus is in the middle of that. And with some of the fundings that we are getting from Norway, developing a national land use plan for us as a country is important, and that is being done under the Liberia Forest Sector Project that is a continuation of our national RARE Plus strategy. In the Republic of Liberia, communities are at the heart of what we do in forestry and RARE Plus. Specifically, there was a law created in 2009 by the government that we called the 2009 Community Rights Law. That law empowers the communities as the owners of the forest. So we cannot discuss RARE Plus in Liberia when we leave the communities out. Our RARE Plus strategy for Liberia, we refer to as its 5 strategic priorities. The communities are at the heart of those 5 strategic priorities. So any discussion in Liberia as it relates to forest, communities are at the heart and center of those discussions.
Welcome back to the Daniel Show. As I told you today, we have with us Winfred Russell, one of the candidates for Brooklyn Park City Council West District. And we are going to be talking about his campaign, and I'm going to be asking some questions as to why he decided to run in the Northwest suburbs. Hi. Winfred.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Thanks for joining us here at the Daniel Show today, for taking the time.
My pleasure.
Yes, I know you're very busy. This is election year, correct?
Yeah.
So Winfred, could you please introduce yourself?
Well, you've done it already, and I appreciate it. I'm Winfred Russell, and I am a candidate for a seat in the West District of Brooklyn Park, in Brooklyn Park, Minnesota.
All right. So Winfred, just going back in history, you ran before, correct? This is not your first time running.
Yes, this is not my first time. I've been involved in this process before. I ran the last time.
For mayor?
No, I ran for city council.
Oh,
for this,
okay.
For this,
the same district?
Yeah, same district.
Okay.
And I lost by 5 votes. And,
Wow.
And so this time around, I think with the help of people in the district and with some new strategies and things like that, we think that we'll be able to turn things around this time.
Okay, that's good. So what made you decide to run for office?
Well, I'm very passionate about service. And I have been involved in the community and working on a whole host of issues. And my interest in running for city council, I believe will give me the platform that I need to do more of the sort of service-oriented work that I enjoy doing, that I love to do. And I think I bring a new perspective to the conversation, to the table, about how to improve the lives of people. And so those are some of the things that motivated me to run. It will really put the issues that I've been fighting for over the years, really allowed me to push them much faster, but it will give me that leverage that I need to solve some of the issues and some of the problems that I've been interested in trying to solve.
And you keep talking about some of the issues. Can you tell me what are some of the issues that you plan to address as a city council member?
Well, some of the issues that I'm interested in, that I will be focusing on when I become a member of the Brooklyn Park City Council. I'm interested in affordable housing and how we can provide a policy in Brooklyn Park that would that will help address the nagging issue that we have around affordability when it comes to housing.
Okay.
I know the City Council has been very interested in it. And they've been trying to push that and look at what other cities are doing and see what they can do here in Brooklyn Park to make that a reality. So I'd like to add my voice to that. So this is one of the things that I'm really interested in. Many of our people in Brooklyn Park live below the poverty line. The federal established poverty line.
What is that poverty line again?
The
amounts.
We're looking at people making under 40,000.
Okay. Under 40 to 20,000. Okay.
Yes, a month, a year.
A year. Okay.
Yeah, a year.
Okay.
And many of our people who live in Brooklyn Park are transit dependent. So they depend on transit to get to work, to get to school, for entertainment and all of that. So one of the issues too I'm going to be fighting for, and I'm interested in, is ensuring that the light rail transit line becomes a reality when it comes to the Brooklyn Park.
Okay.
And we will be addressing issues around safety and the concerns that some people may have about transit coming through. But we will also be looking at the development that transit is going to bring along. I mean, the transit-oriented development piece that transit is going to bring along. Those are things too that we'll be interested in.
So I hear you say transit and affordable housing. I mean, I am an organizer with the Labor Federation, so I am very much interested when it comes to issues that directly impact workers. And affordable housing is an issue, but I also believe that housing can be affordable if people are just being paid the right amount.
Yeah, and so that's so you're right, and so that's one of the reasons why livable wages and how we address livable wages in the city is also important. Because
so is that something you would be willing to address as a city council member? Livable wage.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Those are the issues that I'm going to bring on the table. Those
Okay.
are issues that I'm passionate about. How do we try to address the income gap that we have in a city? Because even if you make housing, if you pass policy to create affordable housing stock, and people don't have the income to acquire some of those housing opportunities and all of that, and then it's going to be moot. So livable wages is one of the things too I'm going to be interested in. I'll also be interested in youth engagement. There are a lot of youth around. How do we keep them engaged and keep them involved and keep them busy? Right. Before there used to be programs in the city, targeting truancy, targeting youth who are have a lot of time on their hands and running around in the city. But, we had programs a year before that had, engaged these young people, getting them involved into productive endeavors and things like that. I would like to fight to bring some of those sort of initiatives, back to the city.
Good. I want to go back a little bit to the wages and affordable housing issues. So on the 30th of May, the Minneapolis Regional Labor Federation, where I work, hosted a forum on affordable housing. And I learned a lot, as far as housing and wages and how that work, and also looking around us in the nearest suburban areas, like Richfield and other places, how developers are coming in, buying over buildings, renovating them, and then increasing the prices. That way they're like dividing communities because they're pushing people away. And a lot of different issues were discussed as far as homelessness. And I heard for the first time really, that even people with full-time jobs can actually be homeless. Because it's not enough. And I also want to tie that to one of the issues that you say you care about, which is youth, right? We're talking about the youth that are out there with a lot of time on their hands, because mom and dad are working 2-3 jobs to put food on the table. So I guess when we talk about like livable wage and affordable housing, this is how it ties into the community work. I'm an organizer, right? I know sometimes we host different events. We go to City Hall to talk about issues that directly impact a lot of people, but those people cannot show up at City Hall, right? Because they have to work 2-3 jobs, and they cannot show up on a Monday night or whatever at a certain time because they're working. So how do we address that? How do we also address like meeting people where they're at? Like doing a whole different form of community engagement, like changing business as usual, not saying, oh, if people can't come to the City Hall and speak out during public comment time, then, well, where are those people? They can't send emails. Brooklyn Park have a lot of ethnic groups, people, not everyone have access to internet. Not everyone know the process of sending emails and stuff to the elected officials. How will you, as an elected official, if you get elected, change the way how community engagement has always been done, so that way we are reaching the mass and the mass population, and people who don't have that time to show up at City Hall to address you during city council meetings?
I mean, I think that's a good point. One of the things I'm not going to be doing.
Okay.
I'm not coming in with sort of like a sledgehammer and try to knock things down and try to disrupt the flow of things.
Okay.
But first, take a step back, do an assessment, understand what some of the issues are, but it's not to continue with sort of business as usual.
Okay.
But how do we be responsive to the needs of the people? And as you said, to use your word, meet them where they are. So if there are some other things that work, if there's some other approaches that work, as opposed to this one-way flow of people going to City Hall to try to get information.
Right.
There are many, activities we've held in the community, town hall meetings, going to different faith community groups and working with them. I like to have a little neighborhood conversation. Go to my neighborhood or different neighborhoods in the West District and talk to them about how I can be a responsive council member, how I can address, their needs, so I don't expect them to always come to me or to always use this sort of established channels that have been put there by City Hall. So so we'll be looking at all these different strategies, how we can mix things up, how we can be a little more responsive, and don't necessarily have to take this traditional path of picking up the phone or calling an email. There may be some other approaches that are working that people are going to be a little more responsive to. So how are we employing some of those strategies? So I'll be open to all of that.
Right.
But until I can I can get there and understand what those needs are, what the challenges are, and see if we can come up with some creative approaches to getting people involved and engaged. I'm not going to say much until I understand what some of the issues are. But I'm open to those sort of creative and new ideas.
Okay, so I want to go back a little bit. I know I saw a Facebook post with you and Councilmember Bob Mader, who is the current city council member of the West District, that you guys are going to do a peaceful election and not go back and forth with each other. However, there are certain issues that I want to address and that I have questions about. And I'm specifically going to speak to him because I haven't heard from the other city council member who voted otherwise, who voted along with him on this as to the reasons. But on Monday, there was an issue. I think it was last Monday, correct? There was an issue where they were discussing, I think I watched a video about having a rehabilitation center here in Brooklyn Park for people who are kind of going through treatment for addiction. And like I said, so during that, I think there was a vote whether or not to have that treatment center in Brooklyn Park. And Mayor Lundy voted to have it. Lisa Jacobson with the East District voted to have it. And who else? Rich Gates wasn't there, I believe. No, Mark Mader wasn't there. I'm not sure. But Susan Pa, who is the first ever person of color on the city council, elected in 2016, voted no. Terry Parks voted no, and Bob Mader voted no. So I'm not going to go hard on Susan or Terry because I'm yet to sit down with them to know their reasons as to why they voted no on that. And that is just because I haven't set up that meeting, but I know they're very responsive to a meeting. But Bob Mader gave an explanation, a very interesting explanation, and that was on camera when he said the reason why he voted no is because he got a lot of complaints. He got a lot of concern from concerned citizens of the West District, of his district, that they are afraid to have an addiction center in Brooklyn Park because the people who are going to be occupying that center, there's a possibility that they can drown themselves in the neighbor pool. And I'm sorry. As I watched that, I was a little, I had a lot of questions. Like, at first, I thought it was a joke, but then, I didn't see him laughing, so apparently he was serious. That the only reason why you were going to vote against a rehabilitation center in Brooklyn Park is because you're afraid that the occupants of that center is going to leave and jump in the neighbor pool to drown themselves. What's your take on that?
Well, so here's the deal. I mean, I know you referenced earlier the picture with Mr. Mader and I, and it's just sort of in this spirit of cordiality and solidarity and all that sort of stuff. It's cool. I mean, I think we're not. We are not fighting. We have two separate ideas. He defeated me the last time I ran, by 5 votes, and there was a recount, and we went through all of that, and we're back at it. I mean, but as I told him, and I think I wrote on Facebook too as well, that look, yes, we are cool. We're going to be as civil as possible, but I'm going to challenge you on the issues because there's a clear distinction between Winfred Russell and how Winfred Russell is going to to be a council person
Right.
on the city council in the West District, from Bob Mader and the things that he supported and the things that he voted. So don't get that twisted. So it's a
Okay.
completely different approach
Yeah,
and different
that's why
things.
I'm interested
So-
in hearing, like, what's your take on that?
Well, you know, I mean, my thing is not necessary to talk about what my interest and my reason for coming to the show is not to talk about what Bob Mader has done or what he's going to do, but I'm going to talk to you, and what I'm interested in talking about is talking to you about my vision about moving
So let me
the West
clarify
District
my
forward
question. Let me clarify my question.
and the people of Brooklyn Park to ensure that they
My question is, maybe that wasn't clear. Based on Bob Mader's response as to why he voted no for a rehabilitation center in Brooklyn Park West, in Brooklyn Park, if you are elected and on the city council, and such opportunity present itself again for you guys to vote on having a rehabilitation center or a treatment center for people who are going through addiction to be built here in Brooklyn Park, what's going to be your vote?
Oh, I mean, I don't know what my vote is going to be because I'm not there, but I can tell you this. I mean, what I'm going to take a position on issues that I know are going to benefit my people, are going to support my people, and going to improve the lives of my people. One of the things that we have in our community that I'm aware of is that we have, a lot of issues around mental health. We have a lot of challenges. We have a lot of issues with access to care, and all of that. So I'm not going to be voting any way. I don't know what the issues are going to be like now. I'm not on the city council yet, but you can rest assured that when I get on the city council, I'm going to vote and support issues that benefit my people. I'm going to vote for issues and look at solutions that help address the need of challenges that my people are having. So I'm not going, I can't speak to any sort of hypothetical now, but what the issues are and what the issues going to be. That's
We
what
have
I'm going to
8
be
minutes,
pushing.
and I'm going to try and wrap this up real quick.
Okay.
But as a resident right now of Brooklyn Park, do you believe that a addiction center is needed? If let's play this scenario. I'm on the city council right now, and I'm having a town hall meeting, and you, Winford, is there. And my issue is, hey guys, there's this issue about having an addiction center in Brooklyn Park before the table. How would you guys want me to vote? This is the facts, and what would be your input on that?
Well, again, like I said, so
As
if
a
there's
resident.
as a resident,
Yes.
I mean,
Right now.
right now, as a resident, if the facts point to the need for having an addiction center in Brooklyn Park, and from what it sounds like, what you're saying, I mean, you have the numbers apparently, so you know that probably know the numbers better than I do. I would support that if the numbers, if the data show that we need an addiction center here. I mean, of course, we're going to support that. I supported, when I was a member of the Planning Commission in Brooklyn Park, I supported the Prairie Care Center coming to Brooklyn Park. I mean, there was a lot of pushback, even for members on the Planning Commission at the time. We didn't say, well, but many of these folks who are going to be institutionalized here, at the Prairie Center, they're probably going to going to escape and cause harm to some of the residents and all of that. I mean, people were coming up with all this sort of doomsday scenario of what's going to happen, and I pushed for that because I know that we needed that center here, and so this is simply because the data supported the need for building such a center in Brooklyn Park.
I'm going to interrupt you a little bit again. We have like 5 minutes. So
Okay.
I just wanted to know a little bit more about your campaign. Who's your campaign manager?
Well, we will be making an official announcement for
Oh,
that,
I
but
thought
we
that
do
was
have
going to be
a.
official here on my show.
Well, I can still come back and make it official, but
Okay.
but we do.
But
we
you
do
do have a campaign manager.
Yes, we do have
Okay.
we do have a campaign
And
manager. We have a bunch of campaign staff and a lot of volunteers
So-
who step forward.
within like a quick minute,
Mm-hmm.
what's your, so this is the Daniel Show. We try to encourage people to get involved into the happenings within the community
Mm-hmm.
and to participate in election and stuff like this, and especially to get out and vote, which is
Okay.
why I'm inviting you, and I'm going to be inviting your counterpart as well, Bob Maida, on the show. Hopefully he
fine.
shows
That's
up. And I'm also going to be inviting people that are running for different offices, just to give the community the opportunity to meet those candidates and to hear from them directly
Yeah.
as they have heard from you. So do you have any like last message, kind of like a plea or whatever it is that you want? What would you want the community to know, what to hear or to do so far? So you
Well,
have 2 minutes.
one of the things I like to do is to encourage everyone in Brooklyn Park to register to vote. This is a crucial year. It's a crucial election for all of us year. And if we want to have our issues addressed, we need to put people there at Brooklyn Park who will fight for us. And I've been a fighter. I've been a fighter for people in our community. I travel overseas and work for our community to ensure that, for example, Ebola didn't come back to these shows and it stayed there. I went to Nigeria and worked there, so provided services from people there, and I'm about to do the same thing here. I have been here providing services for people, but they need to do their part. People need to step up and vote and register to vote, but not only just register, but show up to vote. I think it makes a huge difference. So I'll play my part. The residents and the people in the community, they have to play their part too. Okay. So I'll you tell them if it's someone who's been tested, who over the years, who has been there for the community in every way possible, in every respect, is Winfred Russell. Okay. And so they should look up Winfred Russell, and they can look me up on Google if they like, and you see what I stand for and the values that I've promoted over the years, that I will promote. Once I become a city council member, and they'll be impressed with the services that we've been involved with.
Well, thank you, Winfred Russell, for joining us today on the Daniel Show, and we'll be looking forward to you, and good luck on your campaign. I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Now, you can look up Winfred Russell on Facebook. He have his Facebook page, Winfred Russell for West District City Council on Facebook. You can look him up and like his page and follow him. I'll be trying my best to reach out to Bob Maida, who is the current City Council member, to show up on the show and to talk more about his campaign. Again, thank you, Winfred Russell, for joining the show. Well, my own appeal to you guys is the election is here. I need everyone to get out and vote. Get out to vote. Get out to vote. I know it's not about Donald Trump and Hillary, but we have the governor race coming up. We have local city races. We have representatives. Look, if I know for sure, especially within the Liberian community, DED is one of the biggest issues. Immigration across the line, especially for all immigrants, the Latinos, the Africans, everyone. Immigration is a huge issue. I don't care which side of the bar you are. That's a topic. Well, I do care. That's a topic for another day. But I need you guys to get out and vote. Get out and vote. Vote, 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 vote. Plus, we have another opportunity in the community. The Northwest Suburbs Community and Labor Coalition will be hosting a candidate forum coming up. Couple candidate forums coming up. And this is an opportunity for community members to come and meet the people that are going to be asking for your votes in November in your local city. So for Brooklyn Park, City Council Candidate Forum is going to be on July 12th. July 12th, 6 to 8 at the Brooklyn United Methodist Church right off of Brooklyn Boulevard in Noble. Come there. There's an opportunity for you to sit down, bring your issues. There's no pre-written questions. Just bring your issues to the table. Ask these people who are going to be asking for your vote on how they're going to vote, in your favor, and how they're willing to make Brooklyn Park the best place. For Brooklyn Center, we are hosting a candidate forum. Yeah, we're hosting a candidate forum August 2nd, the same location of Brooklyn United Methodist Church, and it's from 6 to 8. And then June 26th, if you live in Crystal, the Crystal community, they're coming together and they're hosting a candidate forum as well. Also, as you are voting and paying attention to your local races, please pay attention to the governor race, because that is very important, especially if you're a worker. And if you're a worker, you're a union member, or you care about the labor market in America, please, 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 please pay attention to the governor race. Please don't just pay attention to name recognition of people that you know, so you're voting for them. Pay attention to the issues and what they're saying. It is very, very crucial, okay? Because how we vote in November is going to shape the state of Minnesota starting December. Starting January when people get nominated in the office. But starting January is going to change what Minnesota is going to become in the next few years. So please pay attention to that. I'm going to be out on the doors, knocking doors and encouraging people to get out to vote. I'm going to be registering people to vote. Also, Brooklyn Park have Tether Days coming up on the 14th through the 17th of June. I'll get more details, and I'll actually post that on the Daniel Show on our Facebook page, so people can attend that. There are going to be a lot of people there registering you to vote. If you see me at your door, knocking your doors, asking you to register to vote, or talking to you about candidates and getting out to vote, please don't ignore me, okay? Because I will be at your doors and registering people to vote. This is very crucial and it's important. And this is the time for those of us who can vote. Let us get out and vote and actually be the voice for our brothers and sisters who cannot vote. Let us change things around. This brings an end to the Daniel Show for today. I will see you next week, but next week I'm going to be live from the funeral, the funeral ceremony of our dearest pastor, Pastor Goa. He's going to be laid to rest next week. And I will be live from there covering that right here on the Daniel Show. Until we see you again, you have a wonderful weekend. See you next week.